I was just saying before was just like the format that we've tried to follow in our Hangouts. And basically, we already did some series before on switching. So we did record the videos. The videos are on the community page for anybody interested in like watching videos, yeah, and stuff like that. But we're going to be starting with the routine series today, and today is just mainly about subnetting IPv4 IPv6. So to start with, let's start with this. So the rules for this, let me just explain the rules. The rules is that we're not using any subnet calculators. All we're using, I'll get a pen and a paper. So we're going to be using a pen and a paper all through. And what we'll just do is we'll give answers to the questions, and then we explain to the group how we arrived at the answer.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll start from the person to my left, and then we'll go all the way to the right. So we all have to give explanations for our answers and stuff like that. So the first one, so this the website is subnettingquestions.com and stuff like that. But yeah, it says how many subnets and hosts per subnet can you get from
64.
this network? So if you do your calculations and then give your answers. So
How many subnets would be 4, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I said there would be 4 subnets for that one.
Okay, let's see. So can you explain how you got the answer?
Well, a 192 would
Mm-hmm.
be basically two two host bits, right? So 192 leaves 64 host bits, which means you can divide 64 into 256 4 times, so you get 4 subnets.
Good one. Very good. Yeah. Okay. So how many subnets do you say we're gonna get from that?
4.
Four. So four subnets. So I'll put it down. Say four subnets, and that's. Let me check your name. So that's from new. And how many hosts for each subnet?
How many hosts?
Yep.
Well, 62.
62 hosts for each subnet. So does anyone agree or disagree?
David, that's not Neil. I think that's Mark.
Oh, sorry.
My answer's the same.
It's Mark, yeah. So, sorry, no problem. Yeah, so Carlos, what's your own take on that? Or you're still calculating it?
Yeah, I'm a bit rusty on that.
Yep, which is, I know exactly, which is exactly why we're doing this. You know, when I went for my CCNA training in London, the instructor that taught us came one day in class for a 5 hours class, and we just did subnetting all through. It was like just do subnetting till, till you start doing them in your dreams. So, so let's see. Okay, so what's your take on that? Does anyone have an answer yet? How many subnets, how many hosts for this network that we're looking at? Neil, what's your thought?
I agree exactly with you. I think it's Mark. The /26 insider. Um, the two bits use of the network in the last subnet. The jump up into balls, 64 subnets, and 52 usable. So it's 62 rows per subnet.
Okay, so
Obviously correct. I'm doing that.
okay, so anyone else? Rick, what's your thought? If your mic isn't working, you can type in the chat window, and we can see what your answers are. So let's see who else has a mic that we can listen to. So what about Ferenc? What do you think?
I agree with Mo.
Okay, so we got Ferenc also. And Rick, what's your thought? Oh, Rick is still calculating. So Powell says he agrees for 62. Okay. So waiting for Rick and Carlos. Yeah. Hello, Kerry.
Hi,
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah. It's been a really, it's been a really long time.
Yeah, I think I joined the wrong group a while ago. I was like, where's
Oh,
everyone?
oh, sorry about that. I think yeah, that was my own mistake. Cause yeah,
Okay,
I had two events up at for the same time, so I should have cancelled
yeah.
one of them. Yeah. Okay, so Kerry, just to bring you into what we're doing. So we're doing mainly subnetting today, IPv4, IPv6, and we're going through this one. So what's your thought on this? So we want to calculate how many subnets and hosts per subnet.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Yeah, I know how to do version for subnetting very good, but I'm not very well at
Version 6.
yes.
Okay. So do you have an answer for this? How many
Um,
hosts and
and
how many subnets and how many hosts for each subnet?
that is I haven't seen the question. I'm looking for the question right now. I'm
So
sorry.
if you click on my name, you see I'm
Yeah,
sharing my screen.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to see that on the screen.
It's 62 hosts.
62 hosts, yeah, and how many subnets?
Uh, I don't remember.
Yeah. And how did you come to the 62 host answer?
Um, I'm looking at the broadcast. Yeah, my broadcast. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the mask, and
Yeah,
when I see 92, I realize that that's 62 hosts because it's 64, but you subtract two.
okay. Okay, so let's see.
So how many times does 64 go into 256?
How many times does 64?
Yeah, go into 256.
So,
If you take 256 and divide it by 4, what would you have?
Divided by 4, 64.
Okay, so how many subnets can you have in that case?
4.
Okay, so it's 4 subnets and 62 hosts.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, cool.
yeah. So, is there anyone at all that is unclear, anyone at all, as to how this answer came about of 4 subnet 62 hosts? And we don't need to be, because we can, so, because the main reason why we're doing the group is to be able to explain and simplify things for one another. So that's the main reason, is because we can learn from one another. So if there's anyone at all that is like, how did you come across the answer of 4 subnet 62 hosts? Is there anyone at all that's confusing too? So, sorry, Powell.
I think the way that Mark just explained how to do that last thing is pretty ingenious, really. It wasn't something that I was aware of.
Okay, yeah, but okay, Ferenc, you're clear, right? You're clear how we got the answer.
Sorry?
You're clear about how we got the answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, let's move on again. So what is the last valid host on the subnetwork 172?
Oh, let's start calculating.
The last subnet,
The last valid host on the subnetwork. So you got this
52.
network. So you need to calculate the subnet and then calculate the first valid host and the last valid host.
I would say I would say 252.
250 what?
52, you did it. 252
Okay, so
would be the last.
the first thing we need to calculate is calculate which, yeah. So what's the increment for this network?
Cool.
There's 4. The increments are 4.
Yeah. On the third octet, something to bear in mind.
Yeah, and how did you get the increment of 4?
Basically, 252 leaves 4 host bits available.
Yeah.
So how did 252 leave 4 host bits available? So you've
Because
got
252 takes up six bits, right?
mhm.
And which leaves 2 open, and each one you have to go 2 to the power of 2, so you get 4 hosts.
Yeah. And then that means you got increment of 4.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So which subnet does this fall into? 172.25.32.0.
That 0?
Yeah, so which subnet does it fall into? So if this is an
That
increment of 4, so
Oh, the
is
sixth one?
yeah. So which network does this fall into?
that's in the subscript,
Yeah,
isn't it?
good one. Good one. Yeah. So I know it's a trick question. I was just asking. Dot
Oh, you're
25
trying to search it?
dot 32.0. So that's the subnet it falls into. So what's the first valid host on this subnet?
1.
32.54.
Yeah.
32.1.
172.25.32.1. And what will be the last valid host on this subnet?
Dot 3.
Dot
No,
3.
dot 2, sorry, dot 2.
Really? I made it
Yeah.
1
33.25.
172.1.25
Yeah.
dot what?
33.
Dot 32.
Dot 32?
Yeah.
Yeah, dot what?
No.
Oh, wait. Is that wrong? Yeah, sorry, okay. Dot 33.
It's 33.25.
33.
33
Yeah.
dot what?
254.
Dot 4.
254.
Dot
254.
254. Does anyone agree or disagree with that?
No,
Because
I disagree.
because
I
because
think this is
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah, because
We're
in the beginning, remember you told
This
me
is
the
wrong. It's
increment is 4.
35. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, for some
35.
reason I'm getting confused. 3, 4, 5. It would be 5. 35, 30, 34. No, 35.254. That's right.
35.254. So
Yeah.
final
255
answer.
would be the broadcast.
Final answer. You want to use phone a friend? You sure that that's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Okay, yeah. So let's go from left to right. Carlos, do you agree or do you disagree?
I agree, 35.254.
Okay, Carlos agrees. Ferenc,
Yes,
yeah,
I
Carlos
agree.
agrees. Yep. Kevin agrees.
Yes.
Martin, agree? Yes or no? Okay, agree. Rick, you've not given any answer. You agree or disagree?
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. We're going faster, so that's good. So let's go for. Yeah, we're right. So let's go for the next question. What's the last valid host on the subnetwork? This one. So Ferenc, will you calculate this and give us your answer and explanation? So we got
Thanks.
172.22.00 and this one. So what's
Yeah.
the last valid host?
I just got. I don't have to explain this because it's completely the same like the last one.
Yeah.
So the last valid host in this subnet is 172.25.0.254.254.
So quick question, Ferenc.
Oh,
Which
sorry. Sorry, my bad.
so let's go slowly. Let's
My
go
bad.
slowly.
My bad.
Which network does this belong to?
It's 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's 2.254.
So the network is what? 172.22. Dot what?
Yeah. 0, 1, 2,
Dot 0.
3, 4. So, no. Sorry, no. Dot.
Let's do this. Let's bring up Microsoft Word. Um, Okay.
3.254.
So let's bring up Microsoft Word.
Sorry, that was my bad.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's one of the reasons why we're doing this because we understand it, but sometimes we do get rusty in it because we've not done it in a while. And as CCNA, they're definitely gonna test us a lot on that. So let's bring up a table and let's
Yeah.
try to do this. Okay, so let's do network and subnet mask. First valid host last valid host. Um, broadcast address.
Let's go for the network address.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go for that again. So this one. So what's the network?
So the network.
So what network does this belong to? What's the network address?
It's 172.22.0.1.
Okay. Is
Is
does
the
every
first is the first valid host.
so
Yeah.
the first valid host is what?
This is the 172.22.0.1.
Dot zero dot
Hi.
one.
Hi.
Kevin, what are you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm in two groups and one group is calling me.
Ah,
I'm
okay, yeah.
coming.
It's
Let
all right.
me just, yeah, let me just
Yeah.
mute this one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what's the last valid host, Ferenc?
172.22.3.254.
Dot three dot 254. And how did you come about that answer?
Um, it's a /22 network, so I've got two more bits to play with.
Yeah. So that'll be an increment of what?
So it's basically 4 times bigger than a C block of a network.
Okay. So
So 4 C networks, 420/24 networks fits in this one. That means that the last valid, so the broadcast address is basically 172.22.3.255.
yeah, good one. 172.22.3.255. Yeah. It's becoming more clearer to us. Let's see if we can go faster. Let's see what to calculate this one next. Okay. So let's go for that's Ferenc. Let's go for Kevin next. If Kevin's voice is working. So yeah, you're right, Ferenc. So next question: how many hosts, how many subnets and hosts per subnet can you get from this network? So how many subnets and hosts per subnet can we get from this network?
Wait, so that last one was the first valid host was 2201.
Mm-hmm. Was 2201 and the last one is 22.3.254 and the broadcast address is this. So in this one they want us to how many subnets and how many hosts per subnet. So let's add one more row. How many?
But is that right though? I mean,
What do you
that's
think?
not right. That's not.
It's for the subnet, not for. You're probably thinking like the last network, but
Well,
it's understood, I guess, that it's the
well,
last host of the first subnet.
the first valid host there. That's the network. No, wait. 172.20 would be the network, wouldn't it? Because it's a 4 bits. So it's 4,
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
16, no, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So it would be 172.20, and then the first valid host would be 20.0.1.
Absolutely accurate. So, so I raise up my hand and I agree with you quickly, Mark. You're right.
Yeah, I
So
was like, I hope that's not their final answer.
Ferenc, I think we're wrong with our answer
Yeah,
here.
because it's a 4 bits, right? So since a 252 allows 4 bits, right?
Yeah.
So the network, the only subnets that are possible are 0,
Mhm.
4, 8,
Yeah.
12,
Yeah.
16,
Yeah.
20. Subnets can
Yeah.
only be in increments of however many host bits there are. So 22 is not dividable by 4.
No, we're not wrong actually, because this is where subnetting can get confusing. Because the thing to notice though, Mark, is this: is notice that we're talking about the third octet, not the second octet. Aha, there you go. Two
Okay,
five
but
five
it's
two
still
five
a
five
third octet would still be 20 though.
two. So third octet will be 0. No, third octet will start from 0.
Third octet. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
So that's where this thing can get confusing because
I was
yeah.
Okay.
almost lost for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Okay,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
my bad.
yeah, because there's a lot of things. Yeah, I know. I thought we were wrong earlier before because I instantly I saw 22 also, and I forgot about the mask that we were
My
looking at.
bad.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go for the next one. So we have 192.168.52.0. So Kerry, what do you think? Slash 25. First of all, Kerry, what is slash 25?
Slash 25
Yep,
is 128.
128. So does anyone agree or disagree that slash 25 is 128?
Oh. Hmm.
Anyone agree or disagree? I agree.
I agree.
Yep.
I
So
agree.
so carry on. So slash 25. So what's the network that this belongs to? What network is this? Is this network accurate or does it belong to another network?
It's network. What do you mean network? Like,
So the network
I'm
address.
sorry.
So normally
The
we
net.
have the network address, we have the broadcast address.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So what's the network address
That's
that belongs to?
dot
That is the
zero.
network address.
That is it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good one. So let's put it down.
Subnet 0.
So let's get back to this one. Okay. So what's the first valid host?
There's an echo.
Is it better now, Kevin? Kevin? Oh, okay. I think someone's mic is echoing.
Okay, better.
Yeah. So what's the first valid host?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Let me look for what's echoing. Just 1 minute. Mm, hello? Is it
Yes.
better? Let me do a bit of muting. Hello?
Better, better,
Okay,
better.
yeah. So that was Ferenc's microphone that was that was echoing back. It's a okay. So the first valid host. Sorry, bad
All right.
internet connection. Okay. So the last valid host on this subnet.
The last valid also will be 126.
192.
192.168.52. Not
52.
126. Mm-hmm.
52.126. That's interesting. How did you come about the answer?
The mask is 128. Subtract 2 from that will give you, and the network is dot zero, so it's 1 to 128. Subtract 2 for network and broadcast will give you 126.
Does anyone agree or disagree with Kevin?
I'm confused on that.
So Kevin, can you explain it to him? It's so let's try to
Um,
get yeah.
when you are doing the you can use the subnet mask or the prefix to figure out the number of subnets and broadcast address. All right. Now, when you see the slash 25, it tells you that you agree that it's the network mask would be 128, right? That you need to take away two from it because one of those addresses would have to be the broadcast address, and one of the address would have to be the network address, which cannot be used. So out of the 128 that you have available, subtract 2 from it gives you 26, and that's how I came about with the last.
Yep. Good one. So in other words, just to explain further, in other words, what Kerry is saying is, for example, if you have the network is 192.168.52.0, so that's the network. You go
Yeah.
in increment of 128, which means the next network will be what? 192.168.52.128. That'll be the next network. So in this case, well, the first address here will be the first valid host. This one will be the network address, which you can't use. The first valid host will be 192.168, which carrier identified .52.1, which will be the first valid host. But we also know that the last address on this network will be our broadcast address. And the last address is 192.168.52.127, which will be our broadcast address. Which means the last valid host is 126. Is that clear?
Yeah.
.52.126. Because we have to have the network address, which identifies which network we're on, which no one can use. Then we have to have the broadcast address, which basically identifies all the devices on this network, which no one specifically can use. All the devices on the network respond to that address. Okay, so so back to this one. So we already have the broadcast address. So Kerry, so how many subnets do we have in this case then?
2.
2. And how many hosts for each subnet?
126. Hold on. How many hosts? 2 to the 7. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 126.
126. Does anyone agree or disagree with Kerry? 126. Everyone agree or disagree? You can unmute yourself if you're muted.
Looks good.
Yep. Anyone agree or disagree? How many hosts per subnet? 126. Okay. Final answer. Let's see. Let's review the answer. Yeah, good one. Very good one, Kerry. Okay, next one. You're designing a subnet mask for 192.168.77.0 network. You want 10 subnets with up to 10 hosts on each subnet. What subnet mask should you use? So this one, let's go to the next person. And the next person is Masin. So Masin, do you have a mic? You have a mic, Masin? Ah, Masin just escaped. Okay, Mark, that's your next then. So let's get back to the question. So this is the question. You're designing a subnet mask for 192.168.77.0 network. You want 10 subnets with up to 10 hosts on each subnet. Which subnet mask should you use? So with this kind of question, where would you start, Mark? You want 10 subnets. You have this network. You want 10 subnets with up to 10 hosts on each subnet. So where will you start from? And Mark, what do you think? Like, yeah, just think, sorry. So you have this. So you're designing a subnet mask.
When you see a question like this, do you normally start by looking at the number of hosts or the number of subnets?
I usually start with the subnet because you have to
You
get
start.
that one right, but I'm not sure. There, you can use either, but I usually start with the subnet. So does anyone else have any thoughts on that? So Carlos, like if you have this kind of a question, where would you usually start? You have a question where you have
I would
to,
say /28.
yep.
I'm
So
not sure. I'm not sure if that is right.
so you have this one, 192.168.77.0 network. You want 10 subnet with up to 10 hosts on its subnet.
Would the all right? Would the subnet mask be 255, 255, 255 dot 240?
So actually, I said I'll start with the subnet. I don't think so. I think I'll probably start with the host. But yeah. I mean,
Okay, so
what are your thoughts on this, guy? So you have this kind of a question. How would you approach this kind of question normally? Carlos, Ferenc, what are your ideas and thoughts? So Ferenc gave the answer. So Ferenc, so but how do you approach this kind of question? Where do you start from?
I norm
You can unmute yourself, Ferenc, because I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you now.
yes, we're hearing you.
Right. How I start, if I need 10
Mm-hmm.
hosts,
Yeah.
I just need to count the, when you imagine the 8 bits,
Mm-hmm.
the last octet, it's going to be 1, 2, 4, 8, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to, it's 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7, plus 8. Oh, here we go. So I need the 4th bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
32 minus 4 is 28, and that's it.
Okay. Yep, that was good. That sounds really cool. But I'm sure that many people are still confused after hearing that. Is everyone clear on how do you approach this kind of a question? So so I
That would
understand,
be
like I understand from what Ferenc said, if I get it right.
I.
Basically, like what I can do is I lift my finger and I go, how many bits? So basically I have one octet to play with, which is the last octet
hmm
to play with. So how many bits do I need for 10 hosts? So I lift my finger. First finger will be 2. Second finger will be 4. So basically just keep multiplying them by 2. Next finger will be 8. Next finger, so 8 is not enough to make 10 hosts. So next finger will be 16. So I'm like, yeah, 16 is enough. So that means I need 4 bits to make 10 hosts for each subnet. I know I still have to minus subtract 2 from that, but at least I know I need 4 bits. Is that piece clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just leave. So
Wait, why'd you say 16? Because I mean, if you have 4, it's 8 too.
yeah,
Yeah, but then if you look at the number line where you have 1, 2, 4, 8,
yeah,
16, 32, 64, 128,
yeah,
and you're counting from the 1, you say
yeah,
you need 10. 8 is too small, and then the next number is 16. If you
yeah.
put up the number bit,
So you have
Dave.
128, right?
Okay, so
You
you're
have
saying 16 is too big, so stop there. Okay, I
yeah,
got you.
Right.
exactly. One
Mhm.
6 32 and 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, right? Um. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So you have this one leads to if we go there, let's paste them a bit. No, not that. Let's paste them a bit. So if I go, how many bits do I need to make, um, 16? So if I lift my finger, 2 to the power of 1 is 2. So that will only create 2 hosts for me. Oh, sorry, two addresses for me. So the next finger I lift it. So basically just go times 2. So 2, 4, 6. Sorry, not 2, 2, 4, 8, 16. So from that, I know I need 4 bits to make 16 addresses. So basically, whatever question they have, if you say, if you need 50 hosts, you just go lift your finger and start counting from 2. And just start going 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Just keep multiplying by 2. 32, 64, and then you stop. I'm not sure if that's clear, but that's like the method that I usually use. I just try to keep it that way. But like anyone has any other thoughts about this? What are your thoughts on how you
It's
approach
the
this?
same thing because 2 to the 0, we're doing binary. So 2 to the 0 is 1, 2
Hmm.
to the 1 is 2. So that's how you got the 4 bits. I don't know if that makes sense to them.
Yep, yep, it does. Okay, so let's carry on. So Max gone now. So, but Pameni, what do you think? What's your thought on this? Like, how would you approach a question like this? Because it's been a while since we heard Pameni's voice. Ah, Pameni said my math is out of the window. Sorry. Oh, Pameni, you need to get familiar with this for the CCNA. There's no escaping it. There's absolutely no way to escape it. And I tell you, it looks complicated at first, but it's really, really easier. And everyone will tell you the same that it's really easy. All you
Yeah.
just need to do is just keep practicing and practicing and practicing, and you find out that it's really easy. So Ferren confused me with
Uh,
counting.
okay, David, if you go back to the if you go back to your screen,
Yeah,
the
okay.
and at the top of the numbers with
Yeah.
128, put the subnet mask that people would normally use. So above 64, put 192,
Mm-hmm.
and above 32, put 224, and so forth. Yeah, so that they'll know that those are the subnet masks that you'll normally use. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how we would have come up with the subnet mask
Yeah.
for this question, where it says that this is the network address and you need 10 hosts.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with using 16. So the subnet mask would be 255, 255, 255, 2, 240, which will be /28.
Mm-hmm. So,
I
what's
hope
your
that's
what's your final answer regarding this? So, how many hosts do we need? Sorry, how many? What's the subnet mask that we need for 10 subnet and 10 hosts?
me, the subnet
Yeah.
mask.
So, what's the answer to this question? So, you're
The
designing a
subnet
subnet
mask
mask. Yeah,
will be /28, which will be 240.
240.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Does anyone agree with that? /240.
Yep.
You agree /240. Okay. Ferenc, do you agree /240? Sorry, Powell, I'm really sorry, but sorry for confusing you. Sorry for confusing you, Power. Yeah. So, do you agree with that, Ferenc?
Used
Slash
him.
240.
Well, that was that was my counting which confused him.
But if
But do you agree that this is /240? For us to have 10 subnet and 10 O's, we're going to have /240. Do you agree with that? Or does anyone disagree with that? Because if you use /240, how many um how many networks can you have with /240? So again, look at the question very well. The question is that you have this network, 192.168.77.0. You want 10 subnets and 10 hosts on each subnet. What subnet mask should you use? We already decided that we need 4 bits. And Kerry, 4 bits start from where? From here, right?
yeah.
You go 1 bit, 2 bits, 3 bits, 4 bits, right?
Hmm.
So how come it's 240, not 248?
Because you need 10, it says you need 10 hosts, and the 248 will give you only 8 hosts.
Is it true? Is that true that
Mm,
248 will give you only 8 hosts?
I mean, not 8, well, subtract 2, it will give you 6. It'll be too small. It'll give you only 6 hosts. So it doesn't meet the requirements.
Okay. So does everyone agree with Kerry? Okay, yeah, Powell agrees.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the yep. Good. Good. I was a bit confused there myself. I'll tell you what's confusing me. What's confusing me was I was thinking, well, we've borrowed 4 bits here.
No, the 4 bits, that's what you're getting wrong, because
Mm,
2 to the 0
mm,
2 raised to the power of 0 is 1,
Yep.
and 2 to the 1 is 2. So you have to start counting from 2. So that's where he got his 4 bits from.
Yep.
2, right.
Yep. Okay. Good one. Good one. So is that clear, or is that clear to all of us?
All right. When I do, all right, one of the easiest way, because I hate math. So one of the easiest way in which I determine the number of subnets and the number of hosts, I use a simple formula. All right, David.
Yep.
Let me see if I can type it in the
No,
thing.
one thing you can also share your screen, so we can click on your screen and we can all see your screen.
I don't have anything up. I have to put something up.
Okay.
Okay, for subnetting, to finding the number of subnets, I normally do 2 raised to the power of the prefix minus the network. So it would be, say for instance, the same question that we just did, 192. Go back to your screen, David.
Yep.
192.168.77.0
Yep.
slash. Well, it's a slash 28.
Yep.
So the prefix would be 28 minus the network, and we know that this is network C. This falls in the C category, 192.168. So we know that the network would be 24 bits. So it'll be 28 minus 24, which will give you 4, and 2 to the 4 gives you 16.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know, like, there's like lots of methods that people use and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I never heard that one before.
You never heard that one before?
Yeah.
I think
So,
that one was.
yeah.
I've heard of different ways,
Yeah.
and then this is the easiest way for me, because
Yeah,
then
exactly. So I
easier
think
for
that,
you to
yeah.
find the prefix, and once you find the prefix, you just subtract it from the network,
Yeah.
and then 2 to the power of that prefix will give you the.
Yeah. I think that's what matters. I think what matters is to find what the easiest way for you to understand what's going on and just stick with that. So there's like
So that
lots of ways that people use. Yeah, carry on, Carlos.
so that gives you 16, but I mean you still got to figure out 240. Okay.
Yeah. So
I
then
think the other methods I've seen where you just you kind of memorize where they fall.
Yeah. So it depends. Like this one, like normally, like I usually, the way Kevin wrote it down here. I mean, that's for
Yeah,
me. This is
it's
the same way I write it
2,
down in the exam
2
also.
and right, yeah, the same way that you have highlighted here on David. That's the
Yeah.
same way I write it down when I'm in the exam. That's the first thing I do before I even click on it. It's like I write that down so that I have that for any networking question that comes in.
Yeah.
Then I have that right.
Yeah. And basically, like the instructor that taught me in London, I think he gave like different methods and different things, and with the mathematical, yeah, he said it's the most mathematical, yeah, exactly, and he gave like the mathematical and different styles, and it was kind of like this one stuck with me because it was just straightforward for me to understand. I put down the number system, I calculate how many bits I need, and I just go from there. Okay, let's go for the next one. Let's see how much we're understanding this. So next one says, what valid host range is the IP address? This one. So this is a nice one. So let's copy this question. So who's next on the? So Pameni unfortunately doesn't have a mic today. Pameni, you have to give us your answer for this. But let's go for Rick next. So Rick, do you have a mic?
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, so let's go for this. So you give us your answer to this and your explanations for the answer, so we all understand what's going on.
Okay, the same question? Or it's a different one?
Yeah. So this is the question. So what's the valid host range of this IP address?
/23 and /23. It ends on the third octet last bit.
Yep.
So that leaves like 1 bit to play with on the third octet.
Yeah.
With 9. So it comes to, if we divide, it's a plus 1 that equals 9. So it leaves the 2 possibility for the subnets, either 0 subnet or 1 subnet. And so what's valid host range is the IP address 9.
So if we take it this way, Rick, so what's the subnet max /23? What does that interpret to?
What is what?
The subnet mask /23. What does it interpret to?
It comes to 255.255.254.0.
254.0. Good one.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're trying to find this network. So 254.0, what's the increment that we go in?
The increment is what do you mean by increment?
So in terms of like the network, so maybe if it's 254, we have network
Okay,
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I see.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
It would be 5. Let me see, 512. So that's 512. That's the increment.
Of 512. You're referring to 512 in terms of hosts, right?
Not how many hosts.
Yeah.
It's the how big is the network is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which network is this addressing?
So back to what I said earlier.
Yeah.
So we can only play with that one last bit on the third octet. So it's either 0 or 1. And since it's 9, that's a plus 1 equals 9. So so that number is on the third octet is 9. So that's the second subnet that's available.
So the network that this belongs to is 172.26.9.0.
9.0.
So does anyone agree or disagree with Rick?
Agree.
Anyone
No.
else?
No, the network is 9 dot.
So who said no, and what's your reason for saying no?
Carlos.
Yeah,
No.
Carlos. Yeah. So what's your reason for saying no?
In the third octet, it would start at 0 with increments. I don't think he said the increment, but I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Your increments are going to start on even because of the
Right.
increment.
Right.
So your odds will be at the end of each subnet or valid host range.
So what network is this part of then?
8.0 through 9.254.
So instead of 8, you're saying this is 172.26.8.0.
8.0.
Yes.
So Vic, do you agree?
Let me see. /23. So there's only one bit to play with. So it's either 0 or it's 1. So I think so it's
which means the increment will be what?
The
By
increment
2.
is
So let's start from the beginning. So let's say we're talking about the third octet, right? So 172.26.0.0, then 254.0. So this is the first network, right? So what will be the next network? 172.26. Dot 2. So Rick, do you agree with that?
yeah.
Yeah. So after 2, what should be the next network?
4,
Yeah.
6, 8.
Yeah. And then what? 10.
10.
So.
But explain why the increment is 2.
So why is the increment 2?
256 minus 240. 254 gives you 2.
Why is the increment 2?
Let's see.
Yeah. Carlos, you want to help to explain, to break it down?
Well, the value can be 255.
Yeah.
So the difference is 1 bit.
Yeah.
Value of 1. So you'll have, in that third octet, just look at 7 ones. I don't know if you want to write it on the screen.
Yep, let me write it down.
Is a 0.
So let me go 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
When you look at
6,
the
7,
binary
8.
mask.
Ohm.c.
So determine your increment number of zeros to the power of number of zeros.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be 2 to the 1, which would be 2.
So that's this one.
Yeah, I usually just ignore the rest.
Yeah. Okay. So on the last one, so we've got this one. We've got let's just go for this one then. Okay. So we got this one.
Yeah,
So
it's just that's the third octet. So.
yeah, third octet. So let's say this is the third octet. So what's your explanation again?
So I changed the last one to 0.
Last
And
one to
that's
0.
the binary representation of 2, 5, 4.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this one's 0. Yeah.
So it's 2 to the power number of zeros. Is your increment.
Yeah. So 2 to the power 2 exponential 0 is our increment.
Well,
Not 2x is 0,
2, 1.
it's not
Because the number of
more.
zeros is 1.
It's one number of zeros, which is 1. 1, 0.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
2
So
to the 1.
yeah, Rick, what do you think? Is that clear, or do you still need more clarification?
Okay, so there's just the whole network goes from 8.0 to 9.255.
Yeah.
That's the network.
Yeah. So which network is this a part of?
That's the 26.8.0
Yeah, good one.
network.
Good one. Good, nice one. So I hope that's clear, because what we'll do is that the next one we'll give it to Rick also. Yeah, which is basically that's what same thing that I said. So it starts from 8.0 to 9.254. Let's go for the next one. So yeah, good one. What's the first valid host on this network? So Rick will give this to you also.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Got
no
a second
problem.
chance.
Yeah. So the first valid host on this subnetwork.
Okay, so this is a 255.255.255.240.
Yep.
So when I try to solve a question like this, I look at it as a host bit, look at the subnet mask. It gives me like a 16-bit
Yep.
to play with, and that's the network size is 16. The host, the maximum host is 14. Then I come back to the first number, see where it falls into. So it's the last number is 217, and so I just divided that by 16, see where it starts, where it ends. So I think it's probably after 192 plus 16 is 192 plus 16 is
182 plus 16.
218.
Yeah. 10.
And 192 plus 16, yeah, that's 218.
Not 218. 192 plus 16. So 192 plus 10 is 2. It's 202.
208.
It's 208. Yeah. So
okay,
that's
so then it's the next one.
So next one is what?
So it's 209 plus 16. 209 plus 16, that's 224.
Yeah.
It ends at 224.
Yeah. So which network does this belong to?
208.
So let's go 172.30.61.208. Okay. So the first valid host on this network is what?
172.30.61.209.
Yeah, 209. Yeah. And the last valid host?
It'll be 22. Since the next network starts at 224, So the last valid host is 222.
170, very good, very good, very excellent, Rick. 30.61.222, and then the broadcast address will be
223.
yeah, excellent. So 172.30.61.223. Does anyone agree or disagree with Rick? I think I agree. Does anyone else have any contrary answers?
I understand. I'm just trying to soak it in because I'm not as fast.
Yeah.
Scenario.
Yeah. So yeah,
Uh,
Rick is right. Rick is absolutely correct. So the first valid host on this network is 209. So that's excellent. Okay, next one. Let's see if there's a twist. First valid host on the subnetwork that denote this one. So this is basically a similar one to what Vic just calculated. So let's look for another one. If there's any other different type of question. Okay, first valid host again. Which subnet? Okay, let's get someone to calculate this one for us. So who's the next one in line? Thanks very much, Vic. So Carlos, let's give this to Carlos. So Carlos, what subnet does this host belong to?
Let's see. We have a /24. Is that what's there?
I didn't notice that. No, no, we're not gonna give that to you, Carlos. No, that's not fair. We have /24.
Sorry,
No,
I've been disconnected. What?
it's not fair. We have a /24.
Are you gonna skip it?
Yeah, we have to skip it.
Go ahead.
So, okay, yeah, this one is more, yeah, this one is more fun. So, yeah, this one is more fun. So, shift, yeah, so what is the broadcast address of this network?
Let's see. /25. So .128. Broadcast is 127.
So, /25, what does that translate to?
For the subnet mask.
Yep.
525. Yeah, you just got one more bit. So 255.128.
Okay. Yeah. And then the broadcast address of this network.
For the first is 127.
Good one.
So 172.29. What 21.127? No wait. You're talking about the first subnet or second?
Yep. So this one, so what's the network that this address is on? So which increment are we going on this with this subnet mask? Which increment is it?
There's just two networks. So.
Yep. So exactly. So we're going in increment of what?
128.
Yep.
I guess.
128. Yep. So the first network will be what? 172.
172.29.21.0.
Yeah. .29.21.0, and the next one will be 172.
29.21.128.
And yep. And then what's the broadcast of this second one? So this is the one we're
the
dealing
second
with.
one?
Yeah. Because this is the second one that this address falls into.
255.
Yeah. Yep. Carry on. And .255. Good one. So the broadcast address will be 172.29.21.255. So okay. So does anyone agree or disagree? I agree. Anyone?
Agree.
Yeah, this is similar to the one Carrie had.
Yeah. Anyone agree or disagree? Yeah. Okay. So I think this is too straightforward for you, Carlos. We should give you another one. Yeah.
I'll help everyone else. Good job.
How
It's hot in
many
here.
how many subnets and hosts per subnet can you get from this network? Okay, yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, okay. How many subnets and hosts per subnet can you get from this network? So slash 23, what does that translate into?
250. What is it? 254.
254, good one. Dot zero, yeah. Then
So you got one increment is 2 again. How many subnets?
yep, how many subnets and how many hosts per subnet can we get from this network?
I'm freezing up. Let's see how many subnets.
Yep. So in which increment are we going? So which increment are we going in? In the third octet. So which increment?
2.
Two. Good one.
Okay. 2. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So what's because this one we can either go like the way of trying to calculate the increment and try to calculate how many networks, but that will probably take a long while because we have many bits to play with here. So
Yeah.
which quick way will you use to figure out which subnets or how many subnet and how many hosts? What's the quick
Well,
method
there's
that you use?
255 or 256 divided by half since the increments are 2, so 128 subnets, I guess.
128 subnets. Yeah, that's another quick method to do that. Yep.
Host per subnet, number of host bits are 2. So you have 512 from the first set. Plus another.
So here we have how many um how many network bits do we have here? Slash 23. How many network bits do we have to play with?
7.
Is it 7?
Well, not available. I mean, there's 7 ones. Okay, 0. So you have 1 bit. Are you trying to calculate hosts?
How many hosts and how many network bits do we have to play with? So the network bits it's 7, right?
Yes.
So how many network does that translate into?
2 power 7.
Yep.
128.
Yep, good one. So that's the easy way. So you just go there. So that's 128 net subnets. So then how many host bits do we have to play with?
1 in that octet.
Yeah.
But the values.
So that's 8 in the last octet and 1 in the third octet. So that makes 9 bits, right?
Yeah.
So
8,
what does
9.
that translate into?
2 power 9,
Yeah.
256.
2 power 9, 256. Is that accurate? I don't think so.
8's 128, 9's 7's 128, 256, 512.
Yep. So how many hosts will be in each subnet?
512.
5, because you have to subtract 2 from it.
Minus 2 for each.
Yep. And what is the 2 that you're subtracting? What are they for?
The network and the broadcast.
Yeah. Yep. And that leads you to how many hosts per subnet?
510.
Yeah. So does anyone agree or disagree with that? Kerry, Rick, Powell, what do you think? Yeah, Powell, I agree. I agree also.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree also. So yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, good one. Okay, so it's good that Kerry agrees because Kerry, you have the next one. And actually, I think what we just do is we just tweak this same one, but let's make it
If
something.
we agree, we're either all right or all wrong. So it's good.
Let's see. Let's see. I think we should be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Good one. So, Kevin, because this one, we'll give this one to you, and we won't go to next. Let's just tweak this one a bit. So let's tweak this one to 17, and let's tweak this one to uh, 2 dot 89.0.0. Okay, so Kevin,
Mhm.
how many hosts, and how many subnet, and how many hosts per subnet for this network?
Hold on, give me a minute.
So yeah, so good one.
512 subnets.
So how did you come to the answer of 512 per subnet? So
I did
what
my
does
prefix.
slash
I did
17? Yeah. So what does that
I did my
translate to?
17 minus the network, and this is a class A,
Mm-hmm.
so that's 8.
Okay. So but what does
So
slash 17? What does it
17,
translate into? So 255.
255.
2551. Yep.
It's
128.
128.
That's
128.
128. Yeah. Good one.
Okay.
Dot zero. Okay. So how many subnet bits do we have to play with? So
I don't do it that way.
on this mask, how
Network
many?
bits.
Yeah.
One.
How many ones you're talking about, or how many zeros? Because I don't do it that way, so that's why.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. No, use your method, Kerry. Use your method and give us the answer. And then
I got 512 because I did 17 minus 8 give me 9, and 2 to the 9 is 512.
512. So you're saying we have 512 subnets,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And how
And the
many hosts?
host will be um the host will be 2 to the 5. So it will be 30 hosts per subnet.
30 hosts per subnet. Doesn't sound right.
Wait, how do
I don't know.
you get that many subnets?
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, Kerry. What do you think?
The subnet. Hold on. The prefix is 17.
Yeah.
This is a class. This is a class A, which is
No.
2.89. That's A, which is 8. Give me a minute.
Because 512 and 30 doesn't sound right for this this address and mask.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I don't know.
Well,
What do you think? Who want to?
let me be. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But so in the 128, that's represented by what? I mean, one and then
That's one. That's
70.
how many? If I want to calculate it, I'll go. How many
Yeah,
network
I'm
bits
kind of
do I have?
explaining it out. Like 128 is 10000,
Yeah.
and your network bits is 1. So
Yeah.
to the power of 1, that's how many network bits.
You've got. Yeah. So just two
So,
networks.
right.
And then for the host bit, you have the remaining. So you have 8 plus 7. Because you have 8 bits in the last
Right.
octet,
Right. 8.
and then you have 7 bits in the third octet for your host bits.
Right. So that's to the power of 15 hosts
Yeah,
minus 2.
yeah, exactly.
So it should be like, I
Two,
only know it's like 65, so it's probably like 32,000 something.
2 raised to the power 15.
Yeah.
How do we do that? So we just start timesing them by 2. So we go 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1026.
Nothing shown on your screen though.
Yeah,
Are you
nothing
calculating
on
on a
the
separate window?
I know, I'm just using my hands. Oh, I'm just lifting my hand and just raising my fingers.
Okay.
No, oh.
Powell got it on. Yeah, no, that's because that's why I do in the exam. I just lift my finger and go. Well, they allow us to use calculator, so actually we can use the calculator. But normally I just raise my finger and go 2 4. Yeah. So Powell's got it. So Powell says 32,766. Okay. So let's see if we're yeah. Okay, actually there's no way to see if we're right or not. But does anyone disagree with that answer? So we got two subnets and we
Yeah,
got
my
how
one's
many hosts per subnet? We got 32,000
mm-hmm.
766.
But Carrie, I'm interested what you were doing. Maybe you were just using
Yeah,
some
I did
wrong
something
method.
wrong.
Because you
Yeah,
said /a, but isn't
yeah, I
this
did
a
something
B?
wrong first.
I mean, it's 17.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin, let's give you another one. One.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I just want you
yeah,
to get your method right, whatever it is, not use the
yeah.
Yeah.
wrong method.
Let's go /4.
Wow.
Oh.
That's mean.
So how many
And,
subnets and how many hosts per subnet can you get from this network?
So just worry about your network, so it'll be easy.
I am a bit confused right now.
the,
Seriously, that's
the goal
four.
is the goal is not the confuse. The goal is one of the main goals. You know, one of the reasons why this inspiration is coming from, because this was what my instructor in London did to all of us, and he was throwing like all kind of weird subnet mask and stuff at us, and we're like, "What are you doing?" And it was like the more I get you to like practice like all this weird stuff, so you get used to like just doing anything that is thrown at you. So yeah, let's try to figure it out together, Kerry. So you go
Okay.
1.8.0.0/4. So /4, what does that translate to?
Slash four.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16.
I don't know. I've never done a flash. Come on. Oh,
So
okay.
that's
I
just
know.
that's
I think flash 8.
Maybe.
240.0.0.0.
Okay.
And what that means is basically you have four network bits to play with. Carlos, what's
Uh,
your thought on this? Come on. And
How many subnets? 16.
yeah. So you've been quiet, Ferenc. So what's your thought on this also, Ferenc? What's your answer to this? So actually, let's all just do this together, and then we give our answers, and then we'll compare. So I'll do this, and then I'll give my answers. So then you do it, and then give your answers also. So I go 240.0.0.0. So that means we've got 4 to play with. So 4 will lead me to 8. So that means we've got
4 bits to play with, so that's 16 on the first octet.
Thanks for that. I think I finished already.
36?
Because I went 8, 16, 32, and I got 4 host bits
The
here.
highest is 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You broke it.
No, because I got this one. This is 8-bit, right? This is another 8-bit making 16, right? This is
Yeah.
another 8-bit making what? Making
24.
22.
making 8 plus 8 plus 8. Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, it's not 36. It's 8 times 3, sorry.
It's like, what's 8 times 4, man?
8 times
Can't
4
go
should be
higher than that.
22, yeah.
You exceeded the limit. This is
Oh
IPv5?
my god. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think
That probably actually
this
exists,
is
though.
the IPv5 that is cubed. I'm creating my own network
This is
address.
IPv David. It's just like IPv4, but you can go to 36 whenever you want.
That, I even think that's what happens. You do so much subnet in your head begins to imagine all
Yeah,
kinds
So
of
that should be
numbers.
28.
Yeah, that should be
it's
three. Yeah, that's right.
28?
So that's 8 times 3 is 24. So the 24 plus 4, that should be 28. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 exponential 28 minus 2. So that's my answer. So anyone agree, anyone disagree?
All right, I agree so far.
Let's see.
it's like what 260 million something.
Yeah, that's a whole lot.
Yeah. Not that anyone will use it. Not that anyone will really use that in the real world, but it's kind of like just to just to play around with some weird numbers and see.
I'm going to be using my calculator for this.
Well, let's see. I think
She
Powell.
disagreed.
Oh, Powell said I disagree. See above. So Powell
Zero,
say
zero
um
can't be included. 50.
yeah, so Bai said could be wrong. Anyone checked. Segregation, any answer will be good, carry. 1.0.0.0 to 15.255.255.255 0.0.0.0 can be included for RSC 6598 reason. So it is.
Yeah, pull that up.
Yeah, let's go
I
to
mean, I think I know what he's talking about. But
That's like weird.
share the space. Mm, mm, let's see. I think I know what Powell is referring to. Um, this one, okay. No, I think I missed the area. Hop, hop. Um, mm,
I do a Control F for bogus list.
yeah, and look for what? So control
Is it
L.
in the chat?
Ah, okay. Let me check.
Bogus.
Ah, okay. Wrong RFC, I suppose. Should be about bogus lists. Ah, okay. So let's search RFC bogus list. Not sure. RFC
You might
bogus.
be able to just control on that document there.
Which one's that?
The one you have open.
Ah, that one. Okay.
Or he's linking a different one in chat.
Yeah. Okay.
5735. No, go to the chat and click his one.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, special use IPv4. Mm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay. See what it means that from 0/8 you can't. Yeah.
Right, so
So
you
address
start
those
for
maybe use a source address for this also in this network.
So would have that many subnets, except you just can't have valid
Right.
hosts, or do you only define a subnet as subnetwork so you can't have valid hosts in?
Yeah, it addresses this block status source host on this network. So that's 0.0.0.0. Oh, is this the one you're referring to, Powell? Is it this one? Yeah, 0.0.0.0. Yeah, but this is one. Okay, I see what you
Oh.
mean. The mask is /8.
Mhm.
So yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I want to yeah. So yeah, so that's valid. That's definitely valid. But but at least we can learn some subnetting with it. Or let's change it to something else. Let's change it to 18, 18 or 16 dot 8 dot 31. Let's change it to /4. Give it /9. Yeah. Okay. So how many hosts and how many subnets? How many hosts per subnet can we get from this network?
Two. Two subnets.
/9. So /9 is
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
your
right.
network is 1
You're
to
right,
the power
Kerry.
minus 2
Okay.
subnets.
You're right, Kerry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's in the second octet. So basically, yeah, I think basically we've got this kind of questions figured out. So all we need to do is identify our network bits and identify our host bits, and then from there we can calculate. So here we have two.
And if you know your network bits, you know your
Yeah,
increment.
yeah, exactly. You know your increment.
So you would have 2 to the power of
Yeah,
7 on this.
yeah,
128.
yeah,
No, is that right? Yeah, 128.
yeah. So this one will be 8 plus 8, that's 16. Then plus 7 here. So you have 16 plus 7, so that's 23. So this one will be 2 exponential 23 minus 2 for the hosts. Am I right with that? Minus
Let's
2.
see. 16.
I say it's correct.
Yep, yeah, I agree. Yep, okay. So let's do one more just with this type, so we just know that we've got it nailed down properly. So let's say on 100.81.31.15 slash um no, that's not right. Um, I was about to do IP David again. Slash 29.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta put a /36 in there.
I was about to put /54.
Wow. Didn't know it goes that high.
So yeah, so just so that we know we've nailed this down. So how many subnet and how many hosts per subnet can we get from this network? So Vic, what's your thought on this also? Because Vic and Ferenc has been quiet very much. So what's your thought on this? This shouldn't take us a very long time. So what's so
Okay. /29. That gives 3 bits to play with. So 2, 4, 8. So the network size is 8. The host size is 6.
network size is what? 8?
8.
No, not really. Do you
Hold
have
on. 4, 2, 1. Yeah, it's 8. 8 minus 2, 6. The maximum is 6 hosts.
does anyone agree or disagree? I disagree with that, Vic.
Wait, let me look at it. I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Uh,
/29. If I go with that, /29 give me 5 network bits to play with.
mhm.
I'm not sure, Vic, is
Okay.
that wrong? Is that wrong or is that right?
I was talking about is a host bit,
Yeah. So
which is 3.
yeah. So how many network bits though? How many networks can we get from
Network.
this? How many
Okay.
subnets? Yeah.
Network bit would be it starts with 100, and that's the class A. So we have the second octet, third octet, and that adds together 16 and plus 5, 21 bits to play with
Mm-hmm.
for the network.
Yep.
For the network,
Yeah.
really,
It's going on.
we got 5 bits to play with for the network. So we got 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So we have 32. I'll say for this one, my own answer would be how many subnets do we have? My answer will be 32.
How did we get 32?
Wait, not 32, huh? 5 to the power 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I see you are only counting the last octet. I started with the second octet because this is a class A
Oh,
address.
Right.
always remember this. Always remember. The classes are gone. You
Oh
know,
yeah?
the classes are gone. The classes is only for historical reference. So it's probably one of the things that we'll discuss in our routine series. So the classes are for historical reference. So
Okay,
we don't use classes. We don't actually find people using class A, class B, class C like that anymore. Those
okay.
are just for historical reference. Because
Then,
They would have to designate it in the question that if it's a
the,
class C address.
yeah,
if you say so, then there's no way to calculate how many subnets
Yeah.
because it can be as
no,
many.
you can.
Um,
So what you need to do to calculate so what actually determines which network you're on, which is why so it's classless now. So which is why the O so subnet mask is what you use to determine which network and
yeah,
which host you have. So it doesn't
yeah.
matter what the first octet number says or the second octet number says. You can
Hmm.
have you can have 10.1.2.3/24. And
Uh-huh.
so basically what determines which network you're on is a subnet mask. So not by classes anymore. Does anyone know
Yeah.
what this is called? Anyone know what this is called?
What?
The
Classless.
classless
Yeah.
variable length subnetting.
No, so this is not even variable length subnetting yet. So this is CIDR. Anyone heard the term CIDR before? CIDR.
Yeah.
The prefix?
CIDR.
I've heard it. CIDR, which is the same thing as the prefix. That's what you're asking. What the 24 is?
Classless
Classless.
inter.
Interdomain
Yeah.
Mm.
routing.
What does it mean by classes interdomain routing?
So there's no more class. There's no class A, B, or C. It's all depends on your needs. You can have your own decide for your own how you're gonna subnet as a network.
Yeah. So basically, it's like let's go back to this one. Mm, yeah. So the growth of voting tables on routers across the internet, that's the main reason why they came up with like classless routing or classless interdomain routing. And what it basically means is that you don't have to go you don't go by this is a class A address or class B address. What determines the class you're on is your mask, basically. So whatever mask you're on, so you can have 10, you can have 192, yeah,
Oh.
you can have 192 dot 168 and have a subnet mask of 255.0.0.0.
Oh, now I see how you got 32.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
only unless you see them say like this is a
Yeah,
you know
class full, yeah.
a class full, class C, class A, uh, and then
Yeah.
maybe it's a trick question, 50% other.
Yeah, yeah, Powell. Yeah. Okay. So again, let's go. Let's do another last one then, so that we know that we have this nailed properly. This type of questions. So let's do something like, let's say, 10.4.
I'm sorry, is there answer to that question?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'll say the answer
32.
is 32 subnets, and then we have three networks to play with. Sorry, three host bits to play with. So which is 2 raised to the power 3, which is 2, 4, 8 minus 2. So that's 6 hosts per
Yeah.
network.
Can we verify on that website?
Yeah, the website doesn't have. So this one is just basically me making
Oh,
stuff up. But yeah, we can verify another way. Actually, we'll bring up the subnet calculator to verify. So let's do this one and let's see if we have this one figured out. So let's go /14. Okay. So how many hosts and how many network per host? How many subnet and how many hosts per subnet on this with this address and mask? So I'll do my own calculation, then
Okay.
you do your own calculation too. So go /14. So I think I got my answer. Could be wrong because I did this really fast.
Looks good.
Yeah, okay. uh,
I almost started screwing up. I was
okay.
like 10 at what?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Good one. Feeling better now. Ferenc and Vic and Powell. Of course, yeah, the person that's got like the answer for us, the absolute answer that we know we can trust the 100% is Powell. So Powell will wait for your answer. Yeah, Powell says yeah, I agree. So yeah, good one. Vic, what about you? Vic and Pamania also, like what's your thought? So Vic, what's your thought on this one? What's your answer?
okay, 14.
Mhm.
I say yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So how did you come about like the answer that you got? Just so we're clear that we all get this and then we
Oh,
can leave this.
okay.
Yep.
So since it's 14, so the second octet is 252, and you have the last two bits to use as the host bits,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
and you have 6 bits to use as the
Excellent.
network.
Excellent. Yeah.
So 226 that comes to 64.
Good one. Yeah. And then yeah. And then the remaining will be our
Yeah.
hosts. Then we subtract 2 from them. Excellent. So we know how to figure out this type of questions when you have host subnet. Figure out your host bit, figure out your subnet bit, and sorry, your network bit, and you come to your answers really, really quickly. Let's see if there are any other type of interesting questions apart from how many hosts and subnets. So they just seem to like this one. So which subnet? So let's tackle this one. Then I think we'll probably pause for the day. So let's see if we can find out like this type of questions. So which subnet does host belong to? So let's do a few this type of questions. Which subnet does this host belong to? So if you do your calculation, I'll do my calculation, then we'll come and give an answer. 168.29.98.52.
96.
Okay, so carry 192.168.128.96. Does anyone else have their answers? Do you agree with Kerry? I agree with Kerry.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yep, good one. And Kerry, so how did you come to this answer?
Well, count by 4.
Yeah.
Increment by 4.
Yeah, good one. Very good.
The host up there.
So which subnet does this host belong to?
It says 98.
Yes. So which subnet is this host? So we have a host address. We have to figure out which subnet it belongs to.
The subnet is in the subnet 96?
Yeah, so I agree. Subnet is 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carlos, do you agree or do you?
What I'm confused is this is incrementing by 2 or
What's the incrementing by? We have 252.
2 5? Oh,
252 is this one. So that means we have increment of
4. Okay. So if your network is that, okay.
So we have increment of 4 here. Let's go for another one.
So 100. Okay, so 99 is. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, 240 0, and let's go for. Okay, let's do the same one, but which network does it belong to? The same address, but different subnet mask. So which network does it belong to?
64, 78.
Did someone just type the answer? I thought Powell. I was thinking Powell already got the answer. I was thinking, wow, that's amazing. Kerry, you have an answer?
128.0.
128.0. So do you agree or disagree with Kerry? So Kerry says that 192.168.128.0 is the subnet. So if we go, yeah, I need to get my notepad to do my maths here. Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to calculate where that falls into. Do you have your answer? Do you have your own answer? I'm just trying to do some maths.
Well, I guess there's like certain numbers that you just have to kind of remember.
Yeah.
Like 128 is a half of it, so that's always like a start of some subnet.
Not always. So it depends on the increment. So, because in this
Uh,
case, the increment that I calculated was increment of 16. So I have to
uh-huh.
figure out like if 128 falls within increment of 16. Math, I know, but like Pamela, my math, it's wonderful. So yeah, I agree with you, Kerry.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rick, do you agree with Kerry? Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what about Carlos and Ferenc? And yeah, and Pamela also. Um, does anyone have any contradictory answer? Do you have your answer, Ferenc?
I think that's good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And what
The
about
Hangout, no?
what about Carlos? Oh, we lost Carlos already. Ah, we lost Carlos already. Ferenc said I just agree with you. No. Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, let's do one more of this type of questions and then let's call it a day today. So 192.168.128.0. Let's look for another one. Just 1 minute. Let's look for another one. Let's look for another one, then we call it a day today. Let's look for another type of question. Which subnet does it belong to? How many hosts per subnet? We've done that. Which subnet does it belong to? How many subnets and hosts? We've done all this type. Okay, let's finish with this one today. So this is a final one for today. So let's calculate it and then we give our answers and then we'll finish for today. So we have this one. What's the valid hosts? What's the first valid host on the subnetwork that this node? So we're given an address. We have to figure out which networks it belongs to. And we have to figure out what's the first valid host on the network that it belongs to. So let's go 240 here. Okay, so was it 10, 14? Okay, Kerry, you have an answer?
208.0.
First valid host, Kerry.
Oh, sorry. First value was 208.1.
I agree with Kerry. Does anyone agree or disagree? Any contrary answers?
Paul will agree.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough right there. Yeah, that's enough right there. Anyone else? Yeah, so good one, guys. Really, really good one. So, I mean, this like, I mean, subnetting is like one of the topics that no matter which level we're at, whether CCNA, CCNP, CCIE, we have to keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again because we'll always keep doing it. We'll always keep using it. Even at work, we'll always keep using it. No, we'll always keep running into it. It's more easier at work because we tend to make things, because there are some networks that do have some, yeah. Sorry, Jerry. So we'll carry on with this. So next week we'll carry on with IPv6 because that's like one of the big introductions into the current CCNA. Is IPv6 we it's been included in it. We have to learn it. We have to know it. So we'll do some subnetting similar type for IPv6 next week. So try to do some study towards that area. If you've been running away from IPv6, this is your opportunity to have an excuse to study it. Because next week we'll do some subnetting, same thing on IPv6. So good one, guys. Good one. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll meet next week. Now we'll
Thank
carry on from
you.
there. No problems. No problems, Rick. And thanks for attending, Rick, Frank, Gary, Jerry, and our Grandmaster Power.